morning. Good morning. So this is an emergency episode. I got this idea from Web Melissa to have an episode in the can. I don't know if my angle look weird. Anyway, so this is an emergency episode. Still trying to get my angle right. I don't know why. Yeah, there you go. More of my display. All right. So this is an emergency episode, meaning something happened, and I used this episode as a filler episode because something happened. Anyway, what I decided to do with my emergency episodes is tell stories because I love telling stories, and I've been missing out on that because I've gotten so deep into the financial information, gotten so far into the weeds that I haven't had the opportunity to tell stories. So these episodes will be stories, these emergency episodes. And that's it. I don't think there's going to be any financial information in here. I'll save the financial information for the live shows. Okay, so that's what we got. So welcome to the Be Your Own Hero show. I'm your host. I'm sekouwrites. I'm a professional creative. That means I do a lot of different creative things, like the fact that I'm an author, I'm a journalist, I'm a filmmaker, I'm a jewelry maker, a few different other things. I'm a playwright, a few other things. Anyway, and I'm also the creator of the Hero Ministry Movement. That's what we're calling this now, this movement that includes the Be Your Own Hero show. And that's my effort to uplift and inspire people in general and the unhoused community in specific. So welcome. Happy you're here. Okay, so I've got so many stories I want to tell. They've been racking up. So I'm going to tell an oldie but goodie, because I can give myself a little more time to tell it well here. So I've been asked a lot recently, how did I get into running? And it is not a straight line story. It's a zigzag line story. But what happened is I started exercising again, because there have been periods in my life when I was exercising actively. I started exercising again towards the end of 2019. And I was gung-ho, I was in it, I was doing a lot of exercise in the gym. And as a part of that, I was running on the treadmill. So I went from running on the treadmill about 5 minutes total every once in a while to using the elliptical machine at the time, the elliptical machine every day for about 45 minutes. So a significant jump in cardiovascular output. Anyway, fast forward, that was the end of 2019. So you know what happened in 2020. There was this huge pandemic and the gyms closed. Well, by that time, I was fully in momentum in terms of moving my body, in terms of exercising, in terms of pushing forward. So I couldn't stop. Like I tried. I remember there were all the announcements that said, don't go to the gym and don't go outside. And I tried to sit still for 2 days. I didn't work out for 2 days. And I was like, I can't. I gotta keep doing what I'm doing. But that's my alarm to start an actual show. So I gotta wrap this up. Anyway, so because I couldn't sit still, I started just exercising outside. That turned into me picking up my mom's jump rope. My mom's jump rope has been hanging on the doorknob forever, and I just happened to see it this time. That's back to the reticular activating system. The reticular activating system helps show your brain what it is that you're looking for. It filters and it seeks. It filters and it seeks. So I was seeking ways to exercise, and all of a sudden, I noticed that jump rope that had been hanging on that doorknob for years. So I grabbed the jump rope and I started going out into the driveway and jumping rope. And that's what I was doing. Those were my driveway workouts during the pandemic. Jumping rope, and I was posting it on social media, and I got all these people cheering, hey, you can do it. And I saw other people, many other people were also doing driveway workouts because we couldn't go to the gyms. So the driveway jump rope evolved into running because I felt like I wasn't getting enough cardio. Not that jumping rope is not a lot of cardio. It is, but I just felt like I wasn't getting enough. Right, so I would jump rope and then I would go running, and I just combined the two. And I started going to the Fisk University track. Shout out to Fisk University. That's where my mom graduated. And I would jump rope, and then I would run, and then I would jump rope. And So I got into this habit of exercising. And what happened after that is I started seeing these pop-ups. Again, the reticular activating system. The pop-ups were probably always there. They're probably always there. And there is the algorithm. The algorithm for social media is very, very complex. And I was posting about running. And so those two things combined to have me notice these pop-ups for this group called Black Men Run. And I was like, what an innovative name. Like, I'm a Black man and I run. I should probably check them out. And it kind of stayed in the back of my mind for a while. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to show up. It was a Saturday, I remember. And it was cold. It was a cold winter Saturday. I just decided to show up where they were. And I show up and I'm bundled up. I'm bundled up for the cold weather. I've got a heavy fleece jacket on. I got heavy sweatpants on. And what I didn't know then that I know now is that they were looking at me like, man, this dude ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it. Because not apparently, I know for sure now that I've become a part of Black Men Run, many times people show up, new guys show up, and then they don't come back. They run with the group once or twice, and then that's it. And so the group that was assembled that day assumed that I was going to be another one of those guys because I wasn't dressed the part. I didn't know how to dress like a runner. I'm bundled up for the cold instead of dressing for running. Because when you run, yeah, it's cold in the beginning, but once you start running, your body generates heat. And then you don't need the clothes, right? They become a liability because they get drenched with sweat. They become heavy, all the things I didn't know. But I was like, it's cold out here. I'm bundled up, right? I'm looking at them like they're crazy because they got shorts and t-shirts on. Meanwhile, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. All right. So I remember this vividly. Never forget this. One of the guys asked me, what's your pace? And I didn't even know what he meant. I mean, I know what the word pace means, but I don't know what my pace is. I was just running in the neighborhood. But by this point, I felt like I was fast because I told you I started running at Fisk University track. Well, unbeknownst to me, Fisk University track is not regulation size. It's smaller than regulation size. I did not know this. So I thought I was killing it. I'm out here like I'm running 6-minute miles. What are you talking about? I got this. No, I was not. I was running 4 laps at Fisk and timing that. In order to get to a mile at Fisk, you have to run 6 laps. So I was 2 laps short. So I thought I was killing it, and I was not. So anyway, when the guy, his name is Sean. I know his name now, but I didn't know his name then. But when he asked me what my pace was, I was like, I don't know, but I'm killing it. Like I didn't say it out loud, but my attitude was like, but I'm fast though. I'm running 6-minute miles. What, right? So anyway, he says she's gonna watch out for me. I'm watch out for me. You don't need to watch out for me. I'm good. I got this. 6-minute mile man, right? That's what I'm thinking. I don't say any of it, right? At least I don't say any of it. So anyway, we start out running, and it's a nice little jog, right? And that's what I'm assuming. We're all going to jog together, right? Okay. So I didn't fully process the name Black Men Run, not jog, run. I didn't really process that until weeks later, and one of my friends had to help me process it. But what happened is we're all jogging together for the first couple blocks. I was like, yeah, I got this, ain't no thing. And then we turn on to the equivalent of Broadway. Just imagine Broadway in your town. Every town has a Broadway. It's that big street, right? We turn onto that big street, and all of a sudden they start accelerating away from me. All of them in unison. They're like, they're just vanishing one by one, disappearing around corners. And I say corners with you knowing that it's Broadway, just like the Broadway in your town. It's long and it's forever, and there's no real turns, but it has bends. And so they're disappearing around the bend. And I'm like, what? Can't keep up with it. I can't even keep them in line of sight, except for Sean, who has decided to watch out for me. So Sean will jog a little bit. He's trying to keep his pace slow so that he can watch out for me. So every once in a while, I look up and I see Sean looking back like this. Okay. And then he'll go run on some more. And then a few blocks later, he'll look back. And then he'll keep going, right? And this made me self-conscious because it got to the point where I realized that this was not going to work out. This run was not going to work out for me. And I really wanted Sean to stop looking at me. I wanted him to stop looking at me so I could just go back to my car and vanish, right? But he kept on looking back. And then he would run on. I was like, oh, man. So this is what I started doing. This is a true story. This is a true story. I'm not making this up. I started running on the sidewalk, right? And Sean is running in the street. So I'm running on the sidewalk. He's running in the street. There's a line of cars parked on the curb, right? Line of cars. So every time Sean loses line of sight with me, I stop. Put my hands on my knees. I'm breathing hard. I'm just sitting there waiting. And then when I see him through the windshield of the car popping out, then I start acting like I was running the whole time. And I run a little bit until we get separated by another car. And I stop again. And I was so thankful for big vans and big trucks because there's no windshields. It was a big block of time. And I would just wait even further until I could just see him coming out from the edge of the truck. And then I start running again. Right? Totally faking it at this point. But I was like, I don't care. I'm going to keep faking it until I make it. And then at some point, the whole group was turning a corner. So they're finally getting off of Broadway, which is turned into West End, and they're making a left-hand turn, right? So they're not running straight anymore. And I was like, okay, this is it. They're not, once they make that turn, they can't see me anymore, right? So I keep watching them disappear around the corner, and Sean is the last one, and he's looking, and he turns that corner. And I'm going like this. I don't think he sees me. I'm going like this. I'm like, just go ahead. Just go ahead. Because I already know I'm not turning that corner. I am not turning that corner. So at the corner was a bank. And there were steps up to the front door of that bank. And I just sat on those steps. As soon as I saw those steps, I was like, oh, it looked like a comfy couch to me. That's how tired I was. Those stone steps looked like a comfy couch. I just sat on those stone steps, breathing, trying to catch my breath, and feeling disappointed with myself because in my mind, I run a 6-minute mile because I didn't know then the fish track wasn't regulation size. So I'm feeling disappointed, and I'm making sure that I am consciously reaching for the gems, consciously reaching for the good things, like the fact that I showed up, the fact that I ran it all, the fact that I made it this far, all the way down Broadway to this bank, the fact that I didn't quit and go back earlier. Like I'm choosing to focus on all the positive things. And at the same time, I know that I can't make this turn and go up this hill and follow them wherever it is they're going. So I decide I'm going to go back the way I came. I know that route back to where we started. And I'm just going to run really slow and try not to stop. And so that's basically what I did. And I had to stop a couple of times for traffic because it was a busy street. I just kept it slow and steady. Mind you, my intention was, as soon as I got back to the start line, to hop in my car and vanish. Irish goodbye for sure, just vanish. Although I did find Sean on Facebook and send him a message, hey man, I'm okay. Just so they wouldn't be worried about me. I knew that he was holding back to find me. But when I got to the start line, these guys were so fast that they were already there. They had already finished their big loop and they were back at the start line, which was now the finish line. And I was like, oh, man. And I looked like I did well because I went to the bank and came back. And so my timing was close to theirs, right? Because I didn't do the whole loop. So it looked like I was just coming in from my run, which I was, but not the full run, not the full loop. So anyway, I'm chit-chatting, I'm, making light of the fact that I couldn't hack it. And then eventually Sean comes in. He was like, yo, what happened to you? I was like, yeah, man, I told you to go ahead. I don't know if you saw me. I was telling you to go ahead. I sent you a message on Facebook. He was like, oh, okay, because I was looking for you. I was like, yeah, I know, I know you were looking for me. And so after all that, it was very funny. I posted about it on social media and posted about all the things I just said, that how I didn't do as well as I thought and how I wanted to do better, but I was looking at the glasses half full and focusing on the positives and training my mind not to beat myself up, even then in those early days. And I got a call from Demetrius, who is the team captain for Black Men Run Nashville, the next day. And he left me this long message. He was like, listen, man, don't be discouraged. You just happened to show up on a day when the guys that showed up were the fastest guys in the group. And I now know that, yeah, these guys are the fastest guys in the group. These are very fast guys. And so he's like, don't be discouraged, just come on back out. He's very encouraging. And partly because I had decided to push forward and partly because of his encouragement, I came back. And I came back religiously. I just made it a practice, even when I didn't want to. Matter of fact, I say even when I didn't want to, but that's not correct. I didn't want to at all because I was still embarrassed by that first day. I kept coming back and I kept being embarrassed and pushing through anyway and doing the best that I could. And I kept coming back and being embarrassed and feeling embarrassed, but doing the best that I could. And that's what that was the rhythm. Show up, be embarrassed, do the best I can. Or do the best I can, be embarrassed, but keep going. Keep showing up. And yeah, I can't even remember what that date was. Someday I'm going to have to look at my social media and figure out what that date was, that first day that I ran with them and I sat on the steps of the bank. But I kept coming consistently. And as they challenged themselves to do more and more things, I challenged myself to do more and more things, more and more difficult things. Like, for example, there was a time when I showed up for an early morning run and a few of the guys were drenched in sweat. And I was like, am I late? What's up? And they were like, oh, no, we ran 3 miles already. And I'm like, these dudes, what you talking about? You ran 3 miles already before the 3 mile run. Like, what? And so I started challenging myself to do the same. So there was a time when there was a 6 a.m. 3 mile run and I showed up early. I showed up in the 5 o'clock hour and ran the route already by myself, ran 3 miles by myself. And then I had the same effect on other people. And then everyone else showed up for the 3 mile run. And it was a big group run. So it was like 3 different groups together. And people were like, why are you sweating? And I was like, yeah, I finished mine already. I did it already. I'm going to do it again with you guys, but I did mine already. And I remember thinking, because I had just run 3 miles, that I would not be able to run another 3 miles despite the break. And I found that to be untrue. Like, I took a lot of walk breaks, but I was really taking walk breaks because I didn't think that I could run another 3 miles. But every time I took a walk break, I was like, I feel fine. So then I would shorten my walk break and jog a little more. So the point is, I recognized that day and many other days that I can do more than I think I'm capable of. I was like, I can run 2 back-to-back 5Ks in a day. Who knew? And that's how the process began, just learning and growing and believing based on empirical evidence that I can do more than I'm capable of. And that's what has led us to where we are today. Like, I can't say the day because this is a In the Can episode, but over a year of running every single day consecutively in a run streak. Like, who knew that I was capable of that? I didn't think that I could meet my original goal, which was 30 days. And now I've run for more than a year every day. And by the way, let me just hit this very hard. It is more mental than physical. Your body will adapt. It'll catch up. It's like, okay, I think he's serious. I think we need to make some changes, make some adjustments. The body will adapt, but your mind is what keeps trying to pull you back to what you were doing before. That's called homeostasis. It keeps trying to pull you back to a comfortable place. Your mind is a very difficult adversary, but your body will come along for the ride after you prove to your body that you're serious about it. So anyway, it has been quite a journey. I can't thank Black Men Run enough. Shout out to Demetrius Jordan. Shout out to Demetrius. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to all the people who were there that first day, who inspired me by how fast they were to come back later. And I've told this story many times before, but one of the guys who was there that first day, Aaron, he always talks about how much I've changed just since he's met me. And he met me that day, that day that I showed up for Black Men Run with my dress for the tundra, with my fleece and sweats on. And he has talked about how much I've changed, even as far as at the starting lineup for the Nashville Marathon and Half Marathon. He was telling me how much I've changed just in the period that he's known me. And that's just a testament to doing the work, showing up consistently, persistently, time and time again, especially when I don't feel like it, especially when, because there were very few times that I felt like going to meet Black Men Run. And most of the time I would get there and I'd hope they didn't show up. That, okay, maybe if they don't show up, then I could just go home. You know, but I pushed past that, and that's what got me to where I am now. So here we are in the middle of the Sekou Hero Charity Run, which has spawned all these other things, including raising money for charity. So that is my story. That's the long version. I think I got all the things in there. Now I got to go get ready for the actual show. And if you're seeing this, that means something happened and I had to use my emergency episode. And I will keep recording emergency episodes that are stories. So stay tuned. All right. Until next time, keep doing. Be a hero, yes, but be your own hero. Be your own hero. And remember that now is better than perfect in all things. No matter what it is, now is better than perfect. All right. And I'll see you next time. Later.